There are really two, and they're actually the kind of the opposite sides of the coin. So the first one is that most IT departments want to start from a data up perspective, and they're doing what they've always done. They'll go out and get all the data and put it in one big pile. What they really need to do is they need to engage from the executive down and start with what are the business use cases for digital transformation? How are we actually going to change that business with digital technologies, and then drive down from the top. And then the advantage of that is a very rapid time to value. So what that means is if I'm really clear about your use case, what it is you want to do, then maybe I can deliver that in 6 to 10 weeks if I do it properly. I think part of the problem is the name, digital transformation. So what happens then is business people think, oh, it's an IT project, and they call IT in. It's not. It's really a business project. In fact, if you do it right, if you really do digital transformation, it's got to be driven by the CEO. It's got to be driven by the board. And so unless you actually have the board and the CEO and his executive team with some vision of transformation, then you're never going to get to the use cases and you're never actually going to change the company. You know, I kind of reject the premise of that question, because people immediately go, well, is it AI? Is it chatbots? No, that's just technology. That's just tires on the car. The real question is, where do you want to go today? And so again, it comes back to the innovations have to be around business model, customer proposition. So what is your business model today? What is your customer proposition? How do I make that customer proposition more competitive? So you think about, you know, a hotel has a customer proposition of rooms. Airbnb had a whole different proposition, but in exactly the same space. And in the space of 5 years, it's made an enormous dent because they had a different customer proposition. So I believe the innovations are all business innovations. They're not the technology innovations that most people think about. Technology is a key enabler. You know, there are things like some of these projects, when you think about them, cannot be done without technology. But I'll give you an example where the technology was really straightforward. Southwest Airlines in the 70s with the low-cost carrier. That's a business innovation. It's also a customer innovation, right? Lower cost, lower service, narrow it down. They use call centers. Now that was the hot technology of the time, the call center, right? Now that technology would be much more web-enabled, mobile app, etc. But it was the business innovation of saying, if I actually streamline my business, I actually fly out of tier 2 airports and I go direct instead of hub. I offer a whole new product, not just cheaper, better, shorter time between tier 2 airports, shorter turnarounds, better service. That was the real innovation. The call center was the enabler. Now it's actually the internet. Sure, so there are two ways that we really drive that. One is we have a team of people like myself, value consultants, business value consultants, whose sole job is to go out and interview managers, business executives, CEOs, and find out what are those use cases. And from those use cases, we put a value to it. So 200 million here, 100 million there, 50 million there, 10 million there. We help them build out that portfolio in business terms. When the executive understand the possibilities, and we've interviewed all of their reports, they go, wow, this is really impressive. Where do I start? And then we show them how to start. Then we work with technology to show them how, instead of doing a bottom-up traditional approach, they can buy an off-the-shelf solution, end-to-end integrated data analytics platform that in 6 to 8 weeks can start delivering the first use case. Once we get IT on the journey of that, we start delivering on these portfolio of use cases every month, every 6 weeks, new features, new functionality, new things that the business users require. So we get a very rapid time to value. Now, if I can deliver something in 6 to 8 weeks, the executive are probably still paying attention, right? And they go, wow, that's impressive, but tell me more about that. And we go, okay, we need to do more work. Let me come back in 2 weeks. Now we're being directed by the business to what they want. If I try and do the old approach from the bottom up, I'll come back 6 months later and go, I have a data lake. I don't have any data, but I have a data lake. And business is going, who cares? So it's really essential that you deliver business value very rapidly and very early in your project, and we help with that.